What's up, guys? I'm Alan Branch, and my sidekick, as always, is Dustin Seegers is here, and we are remote today. I'm actually down in Wilmington, and Dustin's back home. Dustin, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. Hope you are, bro.
I am. So we're starting our weekly coaching series, and we're doing it. We're on our new Facebook page. So if you haven't been there yet, make sure you go and like the page. And we're live on YouTube. So as we start to get some time built up and people that are following the program, we'll get more and more questions in. But we want to start today with two questions that have been posed. And Dustin, these are good ones. So already, before we even get rolling good, the number one question that we have today in the coaching session is, how much cardio do I need for fat loss? So,
man, we're not a minute in the show, and we've already got a humdinger.
Yeah, so here's the thing, guys. First thing you gotta do is, there's no such thing as cardio. So, okay, so this is something that this is sort of a forest, can't see the forest for the trees kind of thing that I think it was 1960, Cooper put out his book on aerobics, Kenneth Cooper. And basically the book said that there was some cardiovascular benefit to cardiovascular training, right? So everybody jumped on that wagon and thought that now, well, everything that's cardio must be good for the heart. So what is cardio? Well, they started running, swimming, cycling, jumping, doing calisthenics to get their cardio. So let's open up with that. Why is there no such thing as cardio?
Because you cannot separate out the energy systems of the body like that. That's the complex answer. What that in layman's terms is that your heart functions to supply, obviously to pump your blood, which has nutrients and oxygen in it. So gas exchange in your cells and food to your cells. That's the purpose of your heart. The purpose of your muscles is not to do that for your heart, to feed your heart, to make your heart work hard so you can just do that for the sake of your heart. Your heart exists and is designed to pump blood and oxygen, nutrients to your muscles so that your muscles can do the work that they need to do to task. Okay. So that's it. It's that simple. And so thinking of it like, how much cardio do I need to do is, and I'm not picking on the questioner, please. This is not meant to be a personal criticism of you or to say that you're silly or you don't know what you're doing. That's not the point. This is instruction. And so you have to train in a way where you're going to get maximal benefits in a very safe way. And the way to do that is by stressing your body through some type of consistent strength training, anywhere from 12 to typically 20 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week. If you're doing your whole body at one time, that's the most you need to do. If you do a split routine, you can do it potentially, depending upon your genetics, up to 6 days a week, especially as a beginner.
And we've got the Project49 program is set up right now, just to give everybody an idea. And I think we had some trouble with our stream to Facebook. It looks like we are having an issue with the Facebook stream, but we are live on YouTube. And I don't think I can do anything about that. It said we had to go live before 8:39 p.m. So I'm going to try it one more time. And yeah, I won't be able to do that. So we won't be able to be on Facebook. We're still live on YouTube today. So one thing that I think it's important to understand, if this confuses you, is you can't. Okay, so if you run, you use your muscles, right? If you swim, you use your muscles. If you're cycling, you use your muscles. So the simplest way to look at that is you can't do cardio without your muscles. So anything muscular work raises the heart rate. It's the intensity of the work. So I heard a scientist say last week that cardio is just poorly applied strength training. Like it's not doing what you think. But look, I get it. It's the way people have been taught to think. You know, let's jump up and down and do all, and that's what their routine is, because they feel like if they do X amount of cardio, then they will burn X amount of fat. And there's so many other factors in there. How many calories you're eating, what was the intensity of the cardio. Most of your trackers, I don't think, are correct. So you would have to be really, really strict on how you figured this out to make cardio the reason that you lose weight. But there's a bigger problem. So talk about cortisol.
Well, before we get to cortisol, trying to lose weight doing cardio is like working 85 hours a week for $5 an hour. You're never going to get ahead. And the reason why you have so many issues is the first one is cortisol. To really get the kind of calorie burning that most people are wanting for fat loss, the type of cardio that they do, what we call cardio, which is sustained elevated heart rate, it's too hard. You would actually be better off having like an active job where you have to get up and walk around and go like deliver mail at your workplace for like 20 minutes, just walking. And I'm talking about not hard, not getting your heart rate up to 165 for 20 to 30 minutes or an hour.
Which is a lot of ballistic stress on the body, and people aren't thinking about that when they're trying to do it for fat loss.
They're not thinking about it. And that's not only do you get the elevated cortisol levels, once you have exercised, there's been some pretty good research in the last 10 years that's shown that from multiple avenues, double-blind studies, that once you exercise longer than about 45 to 60 minutes, and that varies from person to person, but when you do sustained, pretty tough exercise longer than an hour, your cortisol levels really start to go up. Your cortisol is your basic stress hormone, and it stays elevated for a long time. What's the problem with that? Not only do we get into other issues we've talked about, like with our sleep video, but we also get into the fact that cortisol is catabolic. It eats muscle tissue. In other words, it puts your body in what's called a catabolic state, where you're actually feeding on your own muscle tissue. In other words, if you do too much cardio, your body's gonna actually start to feed on its own muscle tissue over a period of time if it's extended cardio. And that means you're gonna get weaker. That stress is going to go more to your joints and your cartilage instead of your muscles. Your muscles are like your shock absorber to your body. And you're never going to, example, and man, I hate to say this because I actually like to run.
I don't.
Run. Yeah, I know. And a lot of people don't, but I actually like to run shorter distances. I've never done a marathon, but I've done a half marathon. I did a 15-mile trail race in 2016 and did pretty well at it for my age, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because it ate into so much muscle tissue. I always got weak. I never could be strong when I had that. And I actually got fatter. And I got fatter because I lost lean muscle tissue. And my body fat didn't really change. I kept eating the same or more calories, but I looked flabby. I looked skinny and bony with my clothes on, but I looked flabby sort of when I had like nothing but like boxer shorts on.
Well, if you think about, everybody has this person in their life, and I'm not picking on them, but everybody has the person in their life where if you're driving to work at 5 in the morning, it's pouring down rain, it's cold, there's a person in a reflector suit running, up the side of the road, and they're skinny, scrawny neck, skinny legs. And look, it's fine if that's what you want. But it's sort of odd that if you walk in a weight room, even though most of them aren't doing it right, people tend to want to look like the people that are in the weight room, but yet they go to the cardio area. So I don't understand why they can't see the logic. So obviously they want the people that have a more defined, more muscular build. Okay, that's what they're doing, but they're intimidated because they don't know how to do it. And then all the fake fitness news is telling you cardio. And I'm sure you know about this, and I'll remind everybody of this. There's a study called the McMaster study. Mm-hmm. And essentially what they did is they took two groups of people. They split it in half. They had 30 people. They split them in half. One group did cycling at 65% of their max heart rate for 60 to 90 minutes, 3 times a week. The other group cycled all out for 30 seconds, followed by up to about 90 seconds of rest. They repeated that for a total of 3 minutes of hard work. 3 minutes. Total elapsed time in the workout, maybe 6 to 9 minutes, including warm up and cool down. Okay, the hard work was 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. When comparing the two studies, the first group exercised 97.5% longer. The literature said that at the end of the study, there was 0 additional benefit. Zero is the word used, 0. Then, so everybody like up in the air. Well, it can't be. You know, we can't do it in 3 minutes, or it can't be done. Okay, so they did the study again, proved the same thing, and then the guy that ran the study, I don't recall his name, basically said, we don't know if it even takes 3 minutes.
Right.
It might be less than that.
It's interesting because that study was predated by some stuff that some studies, and it wasn't peer reviewed. It wasn't written up in the literature. But Arthur Jones and Ellington Darden of Nautilus Sports Medical Industries back in the late 60s and early 70s put Cooper's thesis to the test. And what they did, they didn't really have a way to capture the results. But what they did is they compared the strength training they were doing with their Nautilus trainees with people that they were. This is back when they were training full body 3 days a week, everything to momentary muscular failure, which is pretty hard. That's a pretty tough 18 machines. That's pretty tough workout. You got to have some good genetics to recover from that. But they took those people and compared them to other people who were doing the steady state cardio like you're talking about. And the trainees that trained 3 days a week, I think they trained them for 6 or 8 weeks. It wasn't long, but they were healthy, fit people. They had no comorbidities, nothing like that, no heart problem. They're just healthy people. They trained them on the Nautilus program, just strength training alone to momentary muscular failure, 3 days a week, rest Saturday, Sunday, do it again. And then they compared that with these steady state folks, and they beat them out of the water. They blew them out of the water in every area of physical performance testing that they did.
Well, it backs up to what we said at the beginning. You can't do cardio without your muscles. So when you say how much cardio you need for fat loss, and we can talk about this for days, and I'm glad we have a weekly coaching call now so we can answer some of these questions. The goal for everybody is generally either fat loss, aesthetics, fitness, and you kind of want to tie those together, right? You don't want to just lose fat but not be in shape, and you don't want to just look good but have a low fitness level. You know what I mean? You try to tie it together. So the answer would be, how much fat do you currently have that you need to lose? And if we're going to put some equation together, it would be something like calories in times, you could add in the cost of thermic digestion, calories burned, excess,
right.
BMR, your muscle basal metabolic rate, and combine all that together and create this formula. Here's what you need to do. I heard this saying one time. I know you'll like it. If your outgo exceeds your income, your upkeep will be your downfall. So you can't consume more calories than you burn. And you got to get enough protein to make sure that we're building muscle, okay?
Right.
So I can't overconsume. If I'm overconsuming, the answer to the question is it's impossible. If you're eating too many calories, you're not going to burn them all. And if you do, You're going to damage your body permanently. So we're seeking balance, Daniel-san. We're trying to find like if the caloric intake is right and we're doing some weight training to keep the metabolism up, and then we're doing some intervals to help shave that little extra off, the answer is how much, what I guess what the proper answer should be is how much work do I need to do for fat loss? Because it would be work, not cardio. Any type of training is work. And I want to move to the next one.
And that's the thing that's awesome about it is you don't have to do that much work. What you need is intensity and rest and diet.
Which takes us, and that takes us perfectly into the next question. Can you see the next question down there?
How often should I work out for results?
So our plan, and you can offer some modifications. Our plan, like you and I, what we have put together is a split where we go push pull, and then on the third day we'll be releasing this video probably in about 2 more days. On the third day we do something called the agility square, and it's a way of getting your cardio interval extra cardio interval burn without just mindless destruction on the body. It's actually, I'll tell you a story about it in just a second. And then you repeat that. So it's a 6-day cycle. You go push, pull, agility square, push, pull, agility square, rest on the 7th day. Of course, at any time, if you were just absolutely exhausted, body's worn down, you could rest when you need it. But that's a program that's going to allow enough time for people to recover and give them balance between strength training and interval training. And I want to tell you this, I did the workout with my daughter.
By the way, those push-pull exercise, those push-pull workouts, we're talking 12 minutes,
yes.
12, 15 minutes. You're not in the gym for an hour. We're talking 12 to 15 minutes-ish.
Even the most advanced person is out in 20.
Yeah. I mean, the more, and that's the thing I want to talk about too, is the more advanced you get, the stronger you get, you are putting a bigger bullet into your system. You're going to need more recovery time. So the thicker those bands get, if you're using the bands, the bigger the weights get, again, moving them slowly. When you're doing your pull-ups, whatever exercises you choose to do, if you don't have some of the equipment we've shown you, whatever push-pull mechanism you use, as you do that nice, slow, no momentum movement, you're going to get stronger, and the stronger you get means you're going to need more time to recover. So the program that we're advocating now, this is a beginner's program. And as you get more advanced, you're going to need more rest period. There's been stories of natural bodybuilders who only work out, and these guys look amazing, and they're doing the super slow protocol like we're advocating. These guys are only working out 2 days a week, but they're pressing, with a leg press machine, they're pressing 1,000 pounds. Now they're doing it slow and controlled. They're not holding their breath. The weights aren't slapping around. They're protecting their joints. But what does that mean? You don't need to work that much. They do their workouts and then they're done. Their workouts take no longer than 12 to 15 minutes, and they're winning competitions.
But you can't, it's hard to get people to understand that's all they need, because that's all they've been, like, there's classes that I teach at Fitness One in Kernersville, and I'll do a strength class, and I honestly could be easily done with that class in 15 minutes, but everybody expects to go 45. So they do, and I get it. I 100% get it. When you would actually be getting just as much, if not more, of your money's worth if you would shorten it down, but I can't do it. So I add a few other things in. We only do it twice a week, so I can take it a little bit longer and do some things that I may not do. But I want to tell you this, my son-in-law is 24 years old. And today and yesterday, I took him through some of the workout. During his split squat, his heart rate was 155, going slow. And we did the 10 counts down, a 10 count hold, 10 counts up. His heart rate, his first exercise is a split squat. 155, that's how intense it was. Okay, so he kept his heart rate elevated. Strength training in slow motion, perfectly slow. Later we went out and I took him through the agility square. So we're developing, that program's been in developmental stage. It's getting ready to get recorded. And one of the first victims of the agility square, and literally within 50 seconds, without sprinting, without anything abusive on the joint, his heart rate hit 160 in 50 seconds. Now, it had to do with the movement, the change of elevation, the change of directions, the athleticism. And there's going to be 10 levels to that program, which will go from the most beginner to the absolute most advanced athlete that you can put that in. And I think that that's something that he was getting his cardio either way, right? So he got his cardio over here. The reason we do the intervals, I say cardio interval because I got to get your attention, but I'm really doing it for your neural and your ability to move. Because what good would it be to be all super strong if you forget how to move?
Well, and that's the thing too, is that you need strength training, but you also need to know how to fall. You need to know how that if you step in a hole, you've got the agility to catch yourself and roll. You've got the ability to have functional movement patterns that not only allow you to have the strength, the shock absorber, the muscular cushioning that you need for your joints, but also the agility and the functional quickness that you need to be able to catch that kid that's on that tricycle that's out of control going down the driveway. You know what I mean? All of those things you need for the kids and the grandkids, because there's a functional fitness that you need, and that's exactly what we're talking about.
And the verbiage that we use for that, we call that a state of readiness.
That's a state of preparedness.
Stay ready. I want to tell you something. John, hold on one second. John has a question. And John wants to know, so slow and easy movement with low weights can raise your heart rate and burn fat. And I think he's trying to get some clarity, so I told him we will clarify. So, John, I'll give you my 30-second, and then Dustin give you his 30-second. So all there is work, buddy. All you can do is work. And this is John Williams. I think you may know him, Dustin.
Oh, yeah.
All you can do is work. Okay, so that work can be walking. It could be walking up a flight of stairs. It could be running. It could be lifting weights. Okay. The heart recognizes the intensity of the work. All of the work being performed is with your muscles. So if you're walking, you're using your muscles. If you're walking upstairs, you're using your muscles a little harder. And if you're lifting weights, you're using your muscles. If you have the right intensity of load and it's under control, and that load transfers over to the correct intensity, you will find your heart rate higher than it is doing most forms of cardio. And it will be higher during your sets. And our program is about 90 seconds, no more than 2 minutes maximum per muscle group per training session. And again, like for example, my son-in-law, heart rate at 155, doing slow motion strength training. That 155 was like today, I myself did the front squat, split squat routine. I got lightheaded and had to pause. I try to go from exercise. I literally got lightheaded myself. So, John, don't confuse slow movements with weights with fast movements with cardio. It's the amount of work. Now, one clarity on his question. He said with low weights, and John, the problem that you're going to have if your weights are too low is your intensity will be too low. So let me finish with this, and Dustin, you take it. So here's our gauge. If you can easily last 90 seconds of slow controlled movement, the weight's too light. If you can't last at least 40 seconds or so, it's too heavy. We want a sweet spot between a minute to 2 minutes to go to failure. I think 90 is optimal. We add a little bit of cushion on the end in case you don't quite get there, but doing it with low weights is going to make it difficult. What you want is a weight that's going to create the right intensity. Dustin, go ahead.
Let me address the rehab component of this because I know John's going to be asking about that. If you have had recent surgery within the last year, you have had any type of surgery, whether it's orthopedic surgery, abdominal surgery, whatever type of surgery, you first need to get cleared with your physician. That's the first thing. Absolutely. The second thing is it's okay to initiate exercise that does not risk hurting your surgical repair with your doctor's orders with low weights, because you're doing basically rehab. That's fine. We're trying to get your neuromusculoskeletal system back for brain body connection. We're trying to restore that. So that's a different mindset than what we typically encounter that's what I do for a living, full time. But that's what we don't typically encounter that with Project 49 type clients. However, we're going to pick up more folks like this because we're addressing that age range. And we're going to have people that are post neck surgery, post knee surgery, ankle surgery, whatever. They're going to be coming to us, and we will put you in a different phase. We're not going to have you do an agility square for a long time. In that position, we would have you using bands and weights that are low weight to get your body reconditioned, because you got so deconditioned after the surgery and after healing. You need like at least 12 to 15 weeks after basic rotator cuff repair, just to make sure the integrity of the tendon is maintained. So we wouldn't be doing anything. We're going to be doing something to just simply restore your basic range of motion and your functional movement patterns that you would need for your activities of daily living. So,
and Dustin, he said the doctor has now cleared me to work out. He just wasn't specific on what to do. And can I add something about the let's see if I can get Dustin back on here. There he is. I want to add something about the agility square, Dustin, real quick. We have a version of that, and Dustin, I don't know his background except what I'm hearing right now, but we have a version of it that is so beginner that virtually anybody can do it. If you can stand up out of a chair, if you can walk forward, if your knee will allow you to rotate your foot externally in any direction, even slowly, and if you can walk backwards, even at a super slow pace, you can start a beginner level of the agility square. So Dustin, as his strength was ready, we would do that. And John, a great thing would be the day 1 and day 2 workouts are already posted. I think they'd be great to follow, even if you only started with body weight. And then the day 3, the agility square, will be launched this week. And all of this stuff is free, man. All you got to do is just follow the program and do it. And then weekly, you got free coaching right here to answer any questions you have. It costs you nothing. You can come on and answer and ask any questions you have when we do our coaching calls and develop a program. Man, you'll never need another one if you'll get into it. But I default to Dustin on any rehab therapy and stuff like that. That's his expertise. So that's great. And I'm glad, John, we're glad you're here asking the questions. So Dustin, I don't have, I think I've used up your designated, we were going to try to keep these at 15 minutes, and you said that because you knew we were going to go to 30, didn't you? Yeah,
I did.
You know me pretty good. He says he's going to do the exercises and keep us updated.
Oh, absolutely. Great.
So hey guys, if you're watching and you got us on YouTube, we had a little problem with Facebook. I found out, Dustin, that I had all this set up like 40 minutes early. Facebook, if you leave it sitting idle for more than 10 minutes, they delete it. I didn't know that, so it kicked us off on Facebook. I'll get this video up. But guys, if you came in, you got a question here at the very end. If you shoot it up right now, we can answer it. If not, you can always shoot it to us on the new Project 49 Facebook page that's up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We've got a couple really good videos on deck to come out in the next couple of days, and we're going to continue shooting them. We'll be doing some live ones. We've got about 30 topics in the queue already, ready of questions to be answered and topics to be covered. Guys, here's the goal. Wait a minute. I see Ruth asked a question. Ruth, I don't think that question came all the way through. Could you ask that again real quick, and we'll try to answer that real quick for you? But guys, the goal is to improve. We want to improve your aesthetically. Of course, everybody wants to look and feel better, right? Look better. Health wants you to feel better. Okay, but we're also interested in going beyond that, and we're looking at longevity. How long can you continue to do stuff for a very long time? We want you to be able to work out and do stuff and look good and feel good for as long as you're alive on the earth, which is your lifespan. So we're trying to increase longevity throughout your lifespan, and that requires a change in your lifestyle. So that lifestyle, you can't work out like a monster and destroy your joints and expect for this to last very long. I heard a guy, they said that Kenneth Cooper, who started the cardio craze, was once named the man who saved America's hearts. About 20 years later, they changed it to the man who destroyed America's knees. So, because all he thought they could do was cardio, and they missed out. So let me see if Ruth's question will come through. Ruth, if you could send that now, we're going to go ahead and get it. If not, we'll get it for you next time for sure. Or you can message me privately, and I'll get it. Give her just 1 second to see if that comes through. Well, Dustin, as always, thanks for taking time. Yeah, I know you have a busy schedule with physical therapy. My schedule is a little more occupied with Project49 now because this is our baby and it's coming off the ground, and you're doing a great job of keeping me with good questions and good answers. So here's the question: there are supplements and products. I love it. There are supplements and products out there that claim you can lose weight if you buy our products. And you don't have, wait a minute, Ruth, I don't get the end of it. You don't have to lose weight. There are supplements and programs out there that claim you can lose weight if you buy our products. And if you don't, clarify that end. Dustin, you want to talk about this? You want me to?
I can start it. It sounds like maybe the questioner is.
Oh, and you don't have to exercise.
Yeah. I know no program, no supplement, no product, even if you took the best quality anabolic steroid, but you did not exercise, you would never see any benefit at all from taking that drug. There has to be a stimulus. You have to put the work in. Our thing is, we want to look at the experts that have gone before, and we want to see how much exercise do we actually need? What type of exercise do we need to do to get the best, most efficient results? All busy. None of us are full-time athletes, fitness people. We all have businesses to run. We have clinics to run. We have responsibilities with our family. So we want to know, how can you get the most bang for your buck and not have to take all of that supplementation? Are there things that are helpful? Yes, absolutely. And we've already talked about some of that. But there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that has ever been scientifically proven that is going to allow you to lose body fat, gain muscle mass, improve yourself aesthetically without doing some type of exercise. There is no supplement that I'm aware of that will do that.
So I want to add to that. So a couple things. We make clear, like I do vitamins, I do B12s, I do during a time like of the virus, I do extra D and a little extra zinc, and of course vitamin C. There's only one supplement that I take, and soon we're actually going to be recommending it just because it's that good. It's an amino acid. It's a complete amino acid that gives you a protein, a good, strong, absorbable serving of protein with very little calories. But that doesn't have anything to do with me losing weight. That is simply helping me get in enough protein so that I can build muscle from what Dustin said, my work. So if I'm putting in the work and I may not be getting enough protein, then this particular supplement can help enhance my intake of protein to allow my body to repair better and build muscle better. Okay. If I build muscle better, still from doing the work, the more muscle I have, the better my metabolism. So his answer is exactly what I would say. No, there's not. And she's asking, Dustin, you may have heard of the Optavia program. She's asking if we've heard of that. I'm not familiar with that. But so this is the real deal. Real results require real work. But it's real smart work, not going out and killing yourself. It's senseless. It makes no sense whatsoever. When you can simplify, go slow and controlled to failure, introduce a stimulus to the body. Then if I'm lacking on something, either due to diet or nutrient in my food, and I take a few supplements to help my body stay up where it needs to be, great. If a supplement claims that it's going to cause something miraculous without me having to apply that stimulus or that work, it is literally a waste of money. And one thing, Dustin, which we've never talked about that, and we're going to get, I don't want to go too long on this, but I'm not a fan of appetite suppressants. If you're taking an appetite suppressant, you may lack a little discipline. Maybe you're not eating enough food. Maybe you're eating the wrong kinds of food. Why are you hungry all the time? Why don't we deal with the root of the problem and not try to get around it by taking something that causes me to eat less, which decreases my nutrient and protein intake so that my body can't function as well? So it's kind of like seeking a magic pill is a bad way to go, in my opinion. And that's why we're so limited in the amount of supplements or extra things that we would actually recommend. You agree with all that?
Yeah, absolutely. You're lacking. Typically, the reason why people have cravings is it's a latent or a slow, a lagging effect. And what I mean by that is you're lacking some type of nutrient that you need. And so instead of actually getting that nutrient, you end up eating all the wrong stuff. So a lot of times people will feel weak. They'll get a craving, get a hankering for something. What's happening is your blood sugar's dropping. And so your body begins to crave sweets. You begin to crave sweets. You begin to crave carbs. Maybe you're trying to cut back on sodas, something like that. And so you go after maybe some other type of food that's not giving you nutrient density. In other words, for each gram or for each amount that you're eating, there's just a lot of fluff in there and a bunch of sugar, calories, and not good proteins, good fats, and good carbohydrates. It's not a good quality food. You're not eating real food. And so what we have, very simply, pluck, pick it, or kill it. Don't eat it.
Right.
And that's real food. We're advocating really just eat real food. And a lot of times that's lean meats and veggies, lean meats and vegetables. And that can be very, very, some carbs, but what I just said, lean meats and good quality vegetables and all the varieties, you can cook those or prepare those or eat all. Man, that's scrumptious. I mean, and you're going to feel amazing. You're going to feel great.
And you're making me
that's what we want for you.
You're making me a little hungry there, buddy. Make me hungry.
Yeah, I might go get a carrot here when I get done.
Yeah, I've actually got some salmon that's been in the air fryer. While we're going on, my wife comes up and shows it to me like, "You want it now?" I was like, not right now, because I'd be scarfing and letting you do all the talking. So, Ruth, hopefully you understood that. And again, I think you're in one of our programs right now. So feel free to private message me, any of you guys, if you have any questions about what's going on. So, guys, this is our first live coaching session. We'll be back again soon, definitely next week, maybe sooner. Fielding questions, talking about the workout, going through the coaching. If you're in one of our personal coaching programs, you can call us at any time. If you don't live locally, you can always connect with us by Zoom. Schedule any of the sessions that you need, any questions that you have, you can work with us individually. So, guys, we have all of our free coaching that is here on YouTube and Facebook. We have our one-on-one coaching program where we can work with you individually. And then, of course, we have a 6-week program that everybody's been waiting for to be launched. And it's a solid 45-day program that's broken down day for day of exactly what to do in the 6-week program. So you got a couple different choices of things to do. But look, all this training here is free. We're going to give you as much content as we can. The difference when you get with us one-on-one or in a coaching program is we can specialize what we need for the individual. And look, the stuff works. Everybody that's on the program. And Dustin, I made a statement today. I actually wrote it into one of the programs. I took it off because I didn't want to sound arrogant. But literally 100% of the people that have been through the program have gotten great results. Every single one of them, if they just followed the 12 to 20-minute program, followed the meal plan, and they're doing it now without, they haven't even gotten access to the agility square yet. So that's going to give a little extra boost to calorie burn. It's going to improve their movement. I think we got some good stuff coming down the line, and we're glad to have all of you guys taking part of it in whatever form you are. So Dustin, we're going to close it out here. Thanks again for your help. Guys, thanks for watching tonight, our first live broadcast. Listen, if you haven't followed our YouTube channel yet, go ahead and go on and subscribe. Please leave any comments on any videos that you watch, and also go to the new Project49 Facebook page so you can see other things on there, different coaching, ask direct questions on that page as well. Dustin, have a good rest of the night with your family. I'm going to chill out and do a little work here and a little research, and I will be talking to you soon. And guys, have a great rest of the night. We'll see you guys soon as well.
Take care, bud.